Hey guys, I'm Holly from The Run Experience. Today we're talking about how to optimize your upper body for better running form. Your legs cannot handle all of that running training alone, especially day after day. If you haven't noticed it yet, you will soon. We're gonna get into all the specifics of how your upper body can help you, and I will take you through that right now. In the beginning of your running journey, it is super easy to assume that the legs are doing all of the work. After your first couple of runs, maybe even after your first race, your first 5K and upward, it is really easy to focus on those legs. They're screaming and they hurt way more than anything else. What is important to realize is that the upper body has a lot more control over your running than you realize. So how strong you can be in your upper body, how upright you can work your positions in between all that running training can make your running that much stronger, more efficient, and help you prevent injury. In this video, we're gonna go through a few different exercises you can do to really understand how that upper body affects your running and how you can apply it on your next run. So your upper body when you run is going to be responsible for two main things. One, a strong upper body can keep you upright when you run so that you can use the correct larger leg muscles and the glutes and the hamstrings and all of that stuff that's going to work for you longer, versus the pounding on the feet and ankles that happens when we start to slouch and lose all of our upper body form. So it keeps you upright and strong, and it also helps you fight the rotation that your stride causes. So we'll get more into the arm swing later, but essentially it's keeping you upright and it's keeping you from rotating too much. So the first thing I want you guys to take a look at is going to be a plank position. I like to use strength work to exaggerate the positions we use in our running so you can understand better what's working for you, and then when you take it to your running, you'll understand why that's working. So that plank position here, we're just gonna find a nice strong plank to start. You're gonna put your hands right under the shoulders and legs are gonna be squeezed together behind you, butt is tight, and just hanging out here for a couple seconds. What I like the plank for is just understanding how much the core actually has control over. Another thing in the plank, you can actually play with just a little side to side here, taking one arm off and then the other. If you've never tried a one-arm plank before, you can always spread those feet a little bit, and just even here, just understanding how easily the torso wants to rotate without some control and support from the opposite side. I like to start with that plank position because now when I take it to a standing, I can understand how much control and support it actually can provide me. And when I'm running, I can squeeze my glutes a lot easier. If the core is engaged, I can keep my shoulders back and allow for an easier arm swing, which we will get into in this next section. So that plank position translates directly to upright. If you're not already doing planks, I highly recommend including them in your routine. All right, so now let's break down this arm swing. Like I mentioned before, if the shoulders are tight and you're not using that arm swing effectively, the upper body starts to over-rotate and it drives a lot of the power away from your running. So let's break down that arm swing. From the side, I'll kind of show you guys. The arm swing is going to be largely behind you. A good portion of it is. So with the relaxed fist, you're gonna drive that elbow way back. It should almost go past your pocket line here, driving that back. What we don't want is for the shoulder to collapse in the meantime, so we wanna keep everything back and tight, just like it was in the plank. So that nice upright position, and you're gonna drive that elbow back, and then as it comes forward, you can go as far as the center line, but you don't wanna cross over it. So coming back here, and then either straight up to the front or slightly here to drive that power. That's gonna be the general path of that arm swing. Obviously both are doing it here, and you're not gonna cross over down the middle like I told you. So I have a great drill for this. We're gonna be running in place and we're going to be taking it one arm at a time and then exaggerating both together. So what you're gonna do is just start to find a little jog here. Feet can start small, start to understand what those arms just naturally wanna do. And from here, you're gonna just exaggerate those legs a little bit more. Cross one arm over the stomach just to relax, and then you're gonna start working on just the one arm in place, driving it back and forward. And you're gonna spend 30 seconds there just like that. You'll already start to notice when it wants to rotate, and then as a result, what the arm can do to fight that. Then after 30 seconds, you're gonna do the other side. So I bring that left arm over, start to find that small run. And then I'm gonna start to drive that right arm back with the elbow and then coming forward, keeping those shoulders relaxed and back. 30 seconds each side, and then you're gonna do the same thing in place, exaggerating both arms together. Finding it small, and then finding that big arm swing, trying to also be breathing the whole time. That will be one thing you're not probably thinking about. Try a couple rounds of this as a drill, and on your next run, you should find your arm swing to be a little bit easier. So the last drill I want to give you guys is something that combines the strong midline work with the arm swing and ensuring that you're going to have that full range of motion when you go on for your next run. We're going to work on something called a hand release push-up today. So you're going to start this thing just like how you did in the plank. And we're actually going to be exaggerating our arm position, building strength, and giving you a little more dynamic power along the way. So you're going to start with your hands right under the shoulders here. You're going to squeeze the glutes together, squeeze your legs together, and just take a couple deep breaths here, making sure those shoulders are in line. The foundation of this exercise will be your breathing, so make sure that you got that going on the whole time. Got a little assistant here today. And from here, I'm going to have you guys just rock forward just about an inch over the hands a little bit more, and then just take a nice slow lower to the ground. We're going to go all the way down here. From this position, I'm actually going to have you take your hands off for a split second at the bottom. They raise up here. You're going to feel you have to pull the shoulders and back tight to get those hands off. If you don't, your range of motion isn't what it could be. You're going to pull this back here, drop them straight back down by the ribs, and then from the chest rolling up, you're going to press off at the top. I did more of an exaggerated roll off the bottom here, and it makes it a little easier, so I'm going to go forward again, elbows in tight, take the hands off, back down, and then you can kind of go chest off the knees and up. For a more advanced version, you're going to go down the same way, take the hands off, and then instead of pressing off the knees, you're going to keep everything squeezed and come up in one piece there. This is the idea of the hand release push-up. You'll notice we're going to hit that back position we did on the arm swing while controlling on the core and having to use big power off the bottom. One thing that I like to do to make this a little more challenging is actually using a tempo. So I can actually force myself to take 2 or 3 seconds down, all the way here, hands come off, and then up fast in 1. So down for 2 or 3, and up. The stronger your core can be, the more efficient your breathing can be. That will all be easier. Obviously off the knees is going to be a little bit easier as well to come down. So modify this as you need to. Anywhere from 3 to 4 rounds of 10 push-ups would be an awesome drill or workout to throw in. Make sure you take your rest in between and let me know how it goes. So as important as all of the strength work and drills are, your mobility and how you warm up is just as important to your running. So I want to give you a few of my favorite warm-up exercises for the upper body that you can throw in when you do your next run, because sometimes we forget how important it is to stretch that out too. So a couple of my favorites. I love a good arm swing. So just starting with your arms out to the side, just starting small. This is a great one to just start to get the blood flowing through the fingers and everything else. And then from here, you can start to take that to a bigger arm circle. From the side, you want to make sure you're not arching here or letting your shoulders collapse forward. So you're trying to find that nice upright position. You can even actually start a little bit slower than I did and then going a little bit bigger here until you find your biggest rotation. From there, you can then do those smaller circles going forward now, also keeping the shoulders back but tight. A little bigger, and then of course as big as you can. On that, that's a great one to start with. From there, I like to go over to a little bent over crossing arm stretch. So I just sit those hips back, keep that core tight, and then starting small, I just get a little crossing arm swing here, trying to get as big as I can by the end. Anywhere from 10 to 15 of those is usually a good number. If you're doing those push-ups and you're doing the arm swing drill, you're gonna already start to feel tight in the chest there, so that's a good way to open that thing up. And then the last thing is just even doing that arm swing drill as part of your warm-up is an awesome way to incorporate it into your run. So remember to stretch your upper body, remember to cool down your upper body in the same way. It's gonna give you the most efficient running form you've got. Guys, I know we covered a lot today. Hopefully you learned something. Make sure you incorporate these drills, the arm swing, the dynamic warm-up, the planks and push-ups into your weekly routine. Of course, there's lots of awesome other content on the channel to give you good ideas there. If you're looking for something more regimented or a more succinct training plan, you should check out our training club down below in the description. We've got a 7-day free trial down there, everything you could possibly need in your running training plan. If you liked this video, hit that like button down below. And if you have any comments or questions for me or requests for future running form videos or anything else, drop those. And otherwise, subscribe to the channel. We have brand new content coming out all the time and we want you to catch it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.